Hello and good day, students. Welcome to my video lesson, a venue where you can be in one place virtually, even from different locations in reality. This is Teacher Dao, your grade 11 math teacher, your guide to an amazing and exciting math venture. Our topic for today is illustrating simple and compound interest. Students should be able to illustrate simple and compound interest, distinguish between simple and compound interest, and appreciate the use of simple and compound interest in everyday living. But before anything else, I will give you the definition of terms. Alright, let's begin with lender or creditor. This is a person or institution who invests the money or makes the funds available. And a lender can be a person, an institution, a store, or a bank. An example for this is an East-West, BDO, or a BPI, or any other banks that can make their funds available. Or in a lending company like this Home Credit, Ecoline, Hawakamai, and the others. Or it could be your friend or anyone that can lend us money, or it could be you for as long as you have that funds available. Next is borrower or debtor. This is a person or institution who owes the money or avails of the funds from the lender. Example, suppose Kevin borrowed money from Trisha, an amount of 10,000 pesos last February 14, 2021. Trisha wanted him to pay it with 5% annual interest for 2 years. In this case, Kevin is now a borrower and Trisha is a lender. Origin or loan date. By definition, date in which money is received by the borrower. Example, suppose Kevin borrowed money from Trisha an amount of 10,000 pesos last February 14, 2021. Trisha wanted him to pay it with 5% annual interest for 2 years. In this example, the loan date here is February 14, 2021. Repayment date or maturity date. By definition, date on which the money borrowed or loan is to be completely repaid. From this example given here, February 14, 2021 is the loan date that should be paid for 2 years' time. So, in this case, the maturity date should be February 13, 2023. And this date now is what we call as the maturity date. Time or term. Amount of time in years the money is borrowed or invested. The length of time between the origin and maturity dates. Term is denoted by small letter t. From this example, the loan date is February 14, 2021. And the term here is 2 years. So therefore, T is equal to 2. Principal. By definition, amount of money borrowed or invested on the origin date. Example, suppose Kevin borrowed money from Trisha an amount of 10,000 pesos last February 14, 2021. Trisha wanted him to pay it with 5% annual interest for 2 years. In this example, 10,000 pesos is what we called as the principal. And principal means this is how much money you owed or the amount of money the lender or investor invested. Rate. Rate is denoted by small letter r. By definition, an annual rate, usually in percent, charged by the lender, or rate of increase of the investment. In this example, rate here is 5%, which is equivalent to 5 over 100 or 0.05. Or else, 5 is being moved 2 decimal places to the left. for you to get 0.05. Maturity value or future value F. Amount after T years that the lender receives from the borrower on the maturity date. This means this is how much everything you need to pay to the lender. When we say future value, this is the totality of the amount of a principal and the interest. The principal is how much money you borrowed or invested. When you are a borrower of the money, you are concerned of the amount paid. But if you are a lender, you are also concerned of how much money you earn. So for you to get the future value is F is equal to P plus I. Interest is denoted by letter I. By definition, this is an amount paid or earned for the use of money. Simple interest is denoted by I sub S, an interest that is computed entirely at once from the moment the money is borrowed or invested. A compound interest denoted by I sub C, in which this is an interest computed on the principal and also on the accumulated past interest. Since simple interest is an interest that is computed entirely at once from the moment the money is borrowed or invested until it was paid, it is calculated on the principal, the rate that is expressed in decimal form, and the time mostly expressed in years. Let's begin with example 1. Suppose you borrow 300 pesos from a friend today and promise to return the money after 4 days with 2% interest per day. Find the amount of money after 4 days. In illustrating simple interest from day 1 to day 4, the interest there is 6 pesos per day. So day 1 has 6 pesos, day 2 is another 6 pesos, day 3 is another 6 pesos, and day 4 is another 6 pesos for the interest. So after 4 days, you have 24 pesos added by the principal, which is 300 pesos, and the total amount that should be paid after 4 days is 324 pesos. Let's have example 2. Suppose 20,000 was deposited at 2% interest per month for 5 months. What is the total amount of money after 5 months? Illustrating simple interest starting from month 1 to month 5, you will get an interest per month of 400 pesos. So after 5 months, you will get 2,000 pesos plus the principal amount of 20,000 pesos. The total amount after 5 months that should be paid to a lender or a creditor is 22,000 pesos. Since compound interest is the interest added to the principal of an investment or a loan so that the added interest also earns interest from then on, this addition of interest to the principal amount is called compounding. Let's have example 1. Suppose you borrowed 300 pesos from a friend today on promise to return the money after 4 days with 2% compounded interest per day. Find the amount of money after 4 days. In illustrating compound interest, starting from day 1 to day 4, interest computed on the first day is 6 pesos added to 300 pesos principal amount. Then the amount on day 1 is 306 pesos. 306 pesos is the new principal amount that will gain another interest on the second day. The new amount now is 312.12 pesos. On the third day, 312.12 is the new principal amount that will have new amount of interest. That results to 318.36 pesos. Until on the fourth day, with the same process of computation, it will come up with 324.73. So, the amount will be 324.73 pesos after 4 days. Let us have example 2. 20,000 pesos was deposited at 2% compound interest per month for 4 months. In illustrating compound interest, starting from month 1 to month 4, 400 pesos is the computed interest plus the 20,000 pesos of the principal amount, and it has a total of 20,400 pesos. This amount, 20,400 pesos, is now the new principal amount for month 2. And this principal must be added with the interest rate that should gain on month 2 of 20,808. And this new amount here in month 2 will be now as the basis of the new principal amount of on the third month, and which gain another interest, and that results to 21,224.16. For the fourth month, this value 21,224.16 is now the new principal that will gain another interest, and that will result to 21,648.64, and this is the amount after 4 months. Suppose you won 50,000 pesos and you plan to invest it for 4 years. Bank A offers 3.5% simple interest per year. Bank B offers 3.5% compounded annually. Which would you choose? Bank A simple interest with annual rate R, starting from year 1 to year 4, a principal amount of 50,000 pesos must be multiplied to 3.5% interest per year and then multiplied by 1, which stands for the time. 3.5 is converted to 0.035. That means 3.5 divided by 100. It has a result, the interest there has 1,750. 50,000 plus the interest of 1,750 is equal to 51,750. Until on year 4, it has a value or future value of 57,000 pesos. Bank B compound interest with annual rate R, starting from year 1 to year 4. 50,000 is the principal amount multiplied by 3.55% interest. It has an interest value of 1,750 on first year, added with a principal amount plus 1,750, which is equal to 51,750 for the first year. On the second year, 51,750 must be added with the interest amount on the second year, which is 1,811.25. It is equal to 53,561.25. The same process of computations to year 3 and year 4, and then year 4 yields an amount of 57,376.15. That is the amount after 4 years. Let us compare simple and compound interest with the same period of time of 4 years and a principal amount of 50,000 pesos. Future value of simple interest is 57,000 pesos, while in compound interest, the future value is 57,376.15 pesos. After comparing simple and compound interest, which would you choose? Is it Bank A or Bank B? If I am a borrower, then I will choose Bank A because Bank A offers simple interest, which has a smaller amount of interest. But if I am a lender or a creditor, I would choose Bank B because Bank B offers compound interest, which has a bigger amount of interest. Let's do exercise 1 together. Directions. Identify the terms being referred to in each statement. It is the cost of borrowing money where the borrower pays a fee to the lender for the loan. If your answer is interest, then you are right. Number 2, it is a fixed percentage of the principal amount that was borrowed or lent. If your answer is simple interest, then you are correct. Number 3, it is the original amount of money invested or borrowed. If your answer is principal, then you are correct. Number 4, it is the interest added to accumulated interest of previous periods, so borrowers pay interest as well as principal. If your answer is compound interest, then you are right. Number 5, it is the length of time we borrow or invested the money. If your answer is term or period, then you are right. Let's do exercise 2. Directions. Identify if given real-life situation, show simple or compound interest. Write SI if it describes simple interest and CI if compound interest. Number 1. Time deposit account of a bank. If your answer is CI, then you are correct. 2. Money that doubles after 10 years. If your answer is SI, then you are right. 3. Cash loan of 6,000 pesos that becomes 6,600 pesos after years at an interest of 5% per year. If your answer is SI, then you are right. 4. Savings deposit account of a bank. If your answer is CI, then you are right. 5. A credit card and paid balance. If your answer is CI, then you are correct. This time it is your turn for you to answer the questions. Directions. Illustrate the following situations by creating a table of values. Copy and complete the given table on your answer sheets. And I'll give you 5 minutes to answer. All right, this time is to answer the previous activity that you have done a while ago. Number 1 is year 1, 57,750 pesos. Year 2 is 60,500 pesos. Number 2, year 1, 57,750 pesos. And year 2 is 60,637.50 pesos. This is the next activity that you need to accomplish. Directions: copy and complete the table below on your answer sheet. I'll give you 5 minutes for you to answer this question. Alright, let's see if your answer is correct. Answers will be posted on screen. Okay, I hope you got the correct answer. Before to end up my topic, I want you to answer the following questions. Number 1, how is compound interest differ from simple interest? Number 2, does the amount of interest earned each year increase, decrease, or stay the same in simple interest account? Or how about in compound interest account? Explain your answers. Today had been a great learning experience. See you next on other video lesson. This is Teacher Del. Don't stop until you are proud because learning math takes time. Bye.